As they say here in the Las Vegas attack, better late than never.
Let's fucking go! Let's go, baby. Welcome into the PHNX.
He's trying to get us kicked out of this stadium
No,
right
man.
now.
They already tried to move.
It is too echoey here.
They've already tried to move us. That's okay. Welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast, baby. We are here. You know what? Before we throw it to anything, producer Jacob, if you may, please.
I'm not taking this boy on the road
Let's
again.
go.
I'm not taking him on the road again.
Take that L. Take that freaking L, baby. Let's go. Phoenix Rising win a dramatic comeback game. 3-2 against Las Vegas Lights, man. That was wild. Absolutely wild.
Right.
Fans
I am
traveling
dragging
here.
him before he gets
Stop
back.
it.
I'm dragging him back to reality. We need to talk about the fact that that game had many facets to it.
did.
We need to talk about the fact that it was a game which was, in many ways, felt like we're slipping away from Phoenix Rising. Rising were not a particularly good team for large spells of that game. They did ultimately manage to pull it back. They did manage to pull it off. But again, there are so many things we've got to make sure we're getting the level right on this one. We've got to make sure that we are recognizing the fact that it was in many ways a poor performance, and yet at the same time Phoenix Rising come away with a very good result.
I agree with everything you said, but also none of that matters to me right now because listen, we're going to talk about this game in deeper context in our Tuesday show, and this is going to be more of a breakdown. But how can you not just ride the wave of what we just watched? I understand that
because I remember what happened more than an hour ago, Max.
I understand, but that's not what I'm saying is this. Rising in these matches throughout these seasons have found ways to either throw away this game where they don't get a result, where they don't get a draw, certainly aren't getting a win. And the fact that their goals come from seemingly nothing, where they're not building a sustained attack, it's something we have not seen from this team all season. And I totally understand that there is skepticism with their overall performance. I'm not overlooking that. And I know we are going to be more pragmatic about this on Tuesday. But to see all of the fans joining in, we've posted it on our PHNX __ Rising Twitter, a minute-long video of everyone just embracing the players, of high-fiving the players, doing all of that. How can you not take away from what we just watched there?
Because I remember more than an hour ago.
No, man.
I'm not living in that like goldfish memory kind of stuff.
That's
I remember
fine.
what happened.
I'm riding the performance.
What we saw in
we're divided on this. Then we're divided on this.
Look, we are divided. We're going to be very divided on this one. He's obnoxious, and I'm living in reality here. But look, I think there's a lot to break down. You're right. We'll do the real heavy lifting of this on Monday, actually, I believe, this coming week, before he gets too distracted because we've got a very weird week coming up. But I don't know. I still don't know quite how to feel. I don't know how to process that one because, again, it was for so much of that game not good enough. Now, did they step up? Did they show that fight? Did they do all of that? Yes, they absolutely did. But still, it was a complicated game. And I actually think, in light of that complication, in light of the fact that it was a difficult one, let's have a listen, actually. I kind of asked Pangera about that. I asked him, the performance in performance for much of the game, maybe not as good as the result. How did he feel? Was he happy with the performance? Let's have a listen to his overview on this match.
Listen, I cannot say I cannot be happy with the performance after what the guys did, and they end up winning a game in an away field that is difficult, and then they fought adversity back twice, right? If you ask me, I would split the game. I would split the game in which, again, I think we were inconsistent in the first half. Sometimes we look comfortable on the ball. Other times it wasn't great. I still think we have to be better in transition moments. And listen, is how can I get and how can we get as a staff and on the players too? How can they be the team that stepped on that field for the last 50 plus minutes in the second half? Going forward, not being afraid to go forward, taking shots, crossing balls in, getting numbers in the box, defending with transition because we're still releasing a lot of numbers going high up the field. And then also, listen, I've always told you this, right? We focus on performance. Even when we get to tie the game, then they score the goal. And the result was going against us. But performance-wise, we were doing better in the second half, better than them. So we still focus on performance. And at the end of the day, this is the better you play, the better performances that you put on the field are going to allow you the opportunity to get better results or be closer to success. So if you ask me today, I split the game in half. First half, we were not happy at moments. Too many high peaks and low peaks. We don't want that. We want consistency. Second half, we saw a consistent team.
Makes sense. It's something that, we've seen this team, right? In good results and in bad results, just needs to be a little bit more of an even performance. I know that's what you're talking to. And really what we heard from head coach Juan Guerra is there was a very measured and almost like the way he spoke is very calm and very, I guess, determined, for lack of a better term, of, hey, this was a good result for us, but it can't start this way. We need to pick things up.
Right, and that's the thing. I think you have to remember as well the caliber of the opposition tonight. Las Vegas Lights sit dead last in the West, right? A comeback, 3-2 win. Yeah, I know it's on the road. Yeah, I know this team sometimes does fail to live up to the expectations, fails to play up to their opponent. But when you're looking at this in terms of just all those factors combined here, Rising shouldn't have huffed and puffed and struggled in the way that they did against a team of this caliber. I understand there are difficulties. I understand that teams, as Juan has said all along, they are adapting. They are playing differently against Phoenix Rising. Again, it's kind of been said, how many times have you ever seen Vegas come out and play the kind of way they did, the way they sit back, the way they don't necessarily high press, the way that, I mean, RGV did the exact same last week, right? Mm-hmm. Those things are surprises. But Rising have to find ways to get through that against teams that are, broadly speaking, lesser teams. And the first half was poor, right? We can go over multiple facets of that. I think the penalty that was taken was poor. It did not threaten anywhere near as much as it should have. Again, every penalty save is a good save. I always say that. Any penalty save is a good save. But not all penalty misses are born equally, and that was not a particularly great one. I feel as though they didn't create enough in the first half.
Certainly not.
They didn't play well enough adapting to how they had to adapt to that game. As you move on then to moments in the second half, again, I think it was overall better. I think there's some more character shown by this team in the second half, more character shown by them in terms of showing up, creating certain chances. I think especially some of the substitutions we saw. I mean, Gabi Torres comes on. You see the impact he makes on the one goal that was scored in there by Danny Trejo. And then you see some moments of magic on the other goals. But overall, it's still a mixed bag. It's still awkward. I know there was a lot of frustration throughout that match until Rising take the lead and people start to think maybe they do it. Because prior to that, I mean, the penalty felt like in many ways it was against their inner play at times. I didn't feel as though Rising were particularly dominant in that. It's a mixed bag. It's awkward. You have to feel good, I think, coming out of any result with a win. But again, you can't rest on your laurels. You got a much harder team coming up on Wednesday. It's going to be a rough week in that sense. You got another real 6-pointer in that playoff chase coming up on Saturday against RGV. It's not easy for Rising looking forward. You can't afford to celebrate too much. Yes, enjoy your night tonight. If you're up here, you've come up here and made the trip up here, as many people did. Enjoy your night out in Vegas. It's going to be a fun one, I'm sure, because, hey, they won. But you've got to temper it with that bit of, they were lucky to do so. In many ways.
I mean, that's fair. You can temper it. I ain't tempering it. A lot of people in the chat aren't tempering it. Listen.
Oh, a lot of people in the chat are tempering it, Max.
Yeah, you're darn right they're not. No.
They are.
I don't know about that. No. It's it's one of those things, again, we go back to it, is again a match that Rising has seemingly found a way to either draw, at best case, lose on many cases. Those goals seemingly coming from nowhere. We just haven't seen those types of sparks from this team. Yes, it's very, very much concerns on many levels, for sure. And again, knowing who the opposition is, can't start slow like that. But it is encouraging that if you are going to take a silver lining from this match, other than the big old W, it is going to be that Rising found a way when there was seemingly nothing going for them. Let's take a look at the numbers that tells the story of this match a bit, right? Really contrasting between the first and second half, but it is Rising 3 goals, Vegas 2, 1.55 expected goals for Rising, 1.65 for Vegas. Possession pretty even, 51 for Rising, 49 for Vegas. Shots, 12 for Rising, 22 for Vegas, and then shots on goal, 4 for Rising, 6 for Vegas. Vegas had the edge clearly in the attacking department within that one, but it's one of those things. Made the difference. Rocco had made himself big at occasions, and there we go. Get a W.
It is. Look, I think from Phoenix Rising's perspective, again, just look, you breathe a sigh of relief tonight. I'm not sure how much more you go beyond that. Again, I get it. It's Vegas. Everyone loves to beat Vegas. Everyone loves beating up on this team who play here in this stadium, don't really have a supporters group. The main peak of their atmosphere, the only thing that vaguely elevates it above that of a morgue is when they start getting the DJ out and he's like, I can make your hands clap, and that's it. That's about all they do, because it is a dire football pitch. It is a dire football crowd. And
crowd is a very loose term. Very loose term.
There are people.
There are human beings.
There are people that exist that were in the stands. So I would use the word crowd barely. I don't know. There's a lot to break down. But you know what? I'm going to say? Adman, give me an ad.
I knew you were going to go there. Yeah, shout out our friends at Four Peaks, drinking copious Four Peaks on the way up here. Delicious beers. The wows were flowing on the party bus today, baby. You already know. Enjoyed one myself. River has it. It's kind of maybe had one. But hey, shout out our friends at Four Peaks. Beers flowing. Bus was loving it. Already know I'm going to have some later tonight
We've
as well.
We've got some phenomenal content from that bus.
Dude, we are so excited. So excited. So much more to come on that. But shout out our friends 4 Peaks again for helping to make all that happen. You guys can check out 4 Peaks for yourself at 4 Peaks Pub and at 4 Peaks Brew on Instagram. Just keep up with all the latest and greatest that they have going on. Of course, you can check out 4 Peaks for yourself at their 8th Street Pub. And of course, our friends at the D-backs, check them out at the 4 Peaks Draft Room inside of Chase Field. Get some beers in ya. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. And something else that you can check out. So friends at Circle K. Circle K, you guys have already heard me talk about the promo code, PHNX. Text PHNX 31310. Text PHNX to 31310 for a buy one, get one free Polar Pop. It's been a day. Again, text PHNX to 31310 for a buy one, get one free Polar Pop. You already know about that. Here's the other thing, though. They started their new Inner Circle program. It's not just some exclusive thing that you can't get a part of. You can be a part of the Inner Circle program. Join an Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. They have a lot of cool stuff going on. First 5 fuel ups, you save 25 cents per gallon. Again, first 5 fuel ups, you save 25 cents per gallon, and every 6 food item you get, like a snack item, it's free. Circle K is literally giving you free stuff and discounts. Check out the Inner Circle program again. Download it, Circle K. Thank us later.
Absolutely. We do actually have, I believe, a super chat from Damon of $4.20. No message attached,
my man,
but $4.20. Damon, I'm sure we'll see. I'm sure.
Here's going to be a safety meeting later. That's what I heard.
Maybe we'll see him out later in the hitting the town in Vegas. Of course, we know he was on the bus up here. But you know what? Let's talk actually as we get into this second segment here. We're getting into the second segment. We've had our first break. Let's talk about writing after the break. Okay.
Nice.
We've had the issues in the first half. Things get a little bit better in that second half. I did actually ask Panos Armenakas, the ultimate winning goal scorer, on what the difference was between that first and second half. You got a little cameo from Juan Guerra in there as well. Nice. So let's have a listen.
I think we
broke half of the locker room.
Yeah, we broke half of the locker room. We needed to wake up, and a lot of words were said, not just from the coaching staff, but between ourselves. We know our level, and we know our level in this league. Like, when we match the intensity of other teams, we can beat most teams in this league because we are probably the better team if we just match the fight and the intensity.
Okay, so look, right? Broke out the locker room. We'll leave that to whatever it is. We have heard generally that Juan was probably a lot more aggressive with his team at halftime than we've seen.
You don't say.
In recent weeks. I mean, it's something that was known. Look, there was the whole. They were itching to get back out there. That's what Juan told us afterwards as well. They were itching to get back out there after the break. This was a team that knew they were upset. They played badly. They knew they'd play badly. They get out there and they wanted to make a difference in that second half. I think there are comments there that Panos makes in terms of just the fact the quality on this team. That's true. This team is phenomenal in terms of just the quality. You see it in some of those moments. We see it in the different ways they play. But the issue that you have is that we don't see that all the time. And it is true. I think sometimes this team, they either lack intensity or they lack ideas. Those are two of the things that frequently are issues with this team. Yeah. We see it in the first half, I think, definitely. We saw it in moments in the second half, which is better than it was before, but still moments. And yet, when they switch it on, completely different. And that actually plays into another thing that we have got another clip. We should actually have a listen to that one. Sure. It's Juan Guerra, right? I asked him about, obviously, the quality of the first goal, of the third goal, having that quality on your team that can kind of translate those moments and just step up and create goals out of seemingly nothing at times. Just how important is that? How much happiness do you take from that? Let's have a listen to what Juan had to say.
It's great, but it's also painful. It's painful when you don't utilize it. It is great when you can get to see it and you can get to enjoy it. So it's a bit of being in heaven and in hell at the same time. And sometimes we're in heaven, other times we're in hell, and it's an up and down. We're gonna find a way to be in heaven more often, and I have no doubt that this team is gonna find the ability to do that. Tonight was good. Tonight's a step in the right direction. There were still things that we didn't do properly, but we woke up and fixed them. So now let's see how we can do that on Wednesday night in front of our people. We could put together a very strong performance and a result versus a team that made us look very, very bad a few weeks ago.
Right, let's talk about some of those goals, though. Let's talk about the first one. Manuel Arteaga, right? That is goal of the week.
What do you say? What do you say?
That is goal of the season contender in some ways. I just, how do you do that? How do you do that?
My word. My word.
And that's, I mean, Juan's right. That makes it sometimes all the more frustrating. We see those moments. They can do this. They can get those goals. They can achieve those things. And then what do? They turn around then and are sloppy for the remainder of the game, or they don't show up in other games, right? Those kind of things happen. And it's really frustrating when you see that happen. It's hard to watch a team that you know has more talent than they sometimes show. Because, I mean, again, that goal, Manuel Arteaga, phenomenal. To flick it up, create that out of nothing.
My word. And
get the kick in there.
Yeah.
Sensational. It's goal of the week. It is, quite frankly, I mean, people love checking the Sports Center top 10 up. I mean, if it's not up there, you wonder.
Oh, yeah, you really do.
It was phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, look, he made up for a missed penalty by pulling that out of his back pocket. But again, in an ideal world, he's not missing the penalty as well. And that's part of it. Again, it's the inconsistency. That's the issue.
No, 100%. I mean, the audacity to do something like that. You see people try something like that. And I mean, 99 times out of 100, that's not coming off cleanly, if certainly not on goal like that. And I mean, my word, listen, struck his moment. Absolutely crazy. I think, we were watching it and we hesitate because we were almost like, wait a second, like, did that go over? Like, there's no way that went in. And then you see people, the players running towards him and everything like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, we did just see that. So that was crazy. Second goal, like talked about, beautiful drive down by Gabi Torres. Bit of a nice little cross in, low and across the box, only where Danny Trejo can get it. And that's a tough run in a crowded area. Maybe sometimes, you're throwing in the mixer, something good is bound to happen, but he finished.
It's what you want to see, right?
No, it's
a fullback stretching their back, running at them, causing problems, and then putting a ball across in a very dangerous area in the hope that it just takes a little nick somewhere,
works, and
ends up in the back of the net. That's what happened tonight. Again, you try that in moments. It can work. It can be perfect for you. It was great tonight. It worked. And you're happy with it.
Absolutely.
And then you get the follow-up to it, of course. Barely catch your breath from Danny Trejo's equalizer and Panos Armenakas. Yeah. With the shot.
My word.
Rocket off his boot. Rocket off his boot. There is no question. That was hitting the back of the net 10 times out of 10.
Oh, yeah. 10 out of 10.
And he runs straight across to the away support to celebrate.
Oh, just absolutely
soaking it in, milking it up.
As he should.
And you know what? We need to talk about that bet, don't we? So Panos apparently had a little agreement with a certain other player on the team, didn't he?
He did. So Panos had a bet with one Darius Formella, and I missed it for a second, but what it was, whoever would score tonight, correct?
Yeah.
Whoever scored tonight was going to get a tattoo.
Well, whoever scored tonight, the other one would have to get a tattoo of their initials and number.
Yes, correct. So Darius Formella would be getting a PA21 tattooed on him.
If you've got any tattoo parlors, I'm told he is looking for recommendations. Drop them in this chat. Drop them on Twitter. Tag Panos. Let him know. Yeah. Oh, my word, man. The ink is flowing. Ink has not dried on this game. Actually, something that we didn't catch on camera was Juan Guerra dapped him up, say what's up, good game, congratulations, everything. That dude freaking broke my Shady Rays. For those of you who are in the camera, literally, he reaches back. He says, hey, you dropped this. It's the freaking lens to my Shady Rays. And that's not a bad thing on Shady Rays because they are strong. They can't withstand a Juan Guerra dap up, apparently. But you know what? That's okay because Shady Rays has phenomenal protection. They have industry-leading protection where if anything happens, whether it's you drop it, you scratch it, or
head coach of Phoenix Rising absolutely crushes your glasses. It's no offense, one. Yeah, I appreciate it. We're going to be okay because Shady Rays has me covered. I can literally just ship those out and I get a new pair for free, baby. Shady Rays is the bomb. Everyone here at PHNX rocking them. They all have the polarized shades, the different active shades, everything like that. Check them out exclusively for you guys who are listening tonight. Shady Rays is giving out their best deal this season. Go to shadyrays.com. Of course, that promo code PHNX, 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses. Again, 2 pairs polarized sunglasses with code PHNX. Try the glasses that are rated 5 stars by over 250 people. What a good freaking time. Also want to shout out friends at Valley Tap Room. Always a good time. I know people who are going to be watching there, they were drinking the beers, having a darn good time as we have been when we're at Valley Tap Room, right? I already got the 4 Peaks, already got the wine slushies, everything like that. Check them out next time you guys are on the east side. Shout out my man Donald. I hear you telling you go. Owen will buy you a beer. Confirmed.
No, I believe the jingle. I'm sorry, it's
no,
Max
there is no
buying beers. Producer Jacob,
jingle.
can you
we
confirm?
can go through. We can just absolutely skip over this. It's not going to happen. We're not going to hijack the middle of the read. Anyway,
when you're ready to say cheers, don't forget Max is buying beers.
Thank you, producer Jacob. Confirmation.
Anyway, check out our friends at Valley Tap Room in person off the 202 and Gilbert. Awesome stuff. Again, shout out my man Donald when you are there, and check him out on Instagram at Valley Tap Room.
Absolutely.
Man, there is one thing, and I know we alluded to it after Panos' goal, but we really do have to shout the man of the match, because the man of the match, really something where you can't take it for granted, had a truly epic performance. I was kind of worried about this performance, kind of wavered a bit, but really picked it up during game time during kickoff. It is, of course, it's everyone, right? It's the supporters. Producer Jacob with the support. That's kind of it's kind of messed up there. But hey,
the away support. No, that's true.
That's fair.
Support.
That's fair. But no, it was 2 busloads of people. 1 rowdy party bus that Mr. Owen and I were on. Numerous copious beers were consumed by that party bus.
And there were people doing shots on that bus as well.
Yeah, that's what you hear. Apparently, there were stickers being passed out, kind of messed up. But yeah, it was a very rowdy, resilient bunch of fans there.
Absolutely.
Man. Oh gosh, man. I mean, listen. There's gonna be more that we talk about within this context. On our show on Monday. I know there's a couple results around the USL, and maybe we save more.
No, hang on a minute. We want to hear from Juan Guerra on the fans as well. This is the Juan.
Unbelievable. It's the amounts of responsibility that we should all feel are massive. The amount of gratitude and love that we feel during the game and being here before, during, and after, it was incredible. And listen, it brings here, the sense of belonging and the responsibility to wear this crest and these colors for the players to understand who we are and where we at, especially a group of players that is new, and a lot of them internationals that come in and then listen, in the last few months we all starting to see who we are, but it's not who they are on the stands, it's not who the players are on the field or myself and the staff in the sideline, it's who we are. It's all of us together. It's them in the stands. If you turn around, it's one of our owners being here tonight. It's us as coaches and the players on the field. It's about us. It's about we, and it's who we are and how we do things. So it was great. It's very, very important, and I hope that we can keep giving back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, man. I mean, I think like I said, we posted on Twitter at PHNX__rising, just a minute-long video of all the players, all the coaches, high-fiving the fans. It was awesome, man.
It was a good time. It was a good time. You know what? Let's have a quick look at the chat before we move on to the rest of the
USL. We do want to.
Mikey having some good times here. About I don't know, whatever.
I do want to real quick.
Quite catch the content.
I do want to acknowledge real quick the reason why we haven't been reading a lot of the chat. We're at the computer. It's like feet away. We literally cannot see it from here.
We can't see it. Yes. I'm afraid, my guys. There is a guy here who's now getting some stick from Jake Anderson. Guy David, talking about whether Coyote should be in Glendale or Mesa.
Oh, no.
I'd like to point out, I'm afraid, that we do have a PHNX Coyotes podcast. Feel free to air your comments there. If you're a diehard, you can hop on the Discord as well.
Nice.
And hop in the Discord there, chatting with other Coyotes fans and get through that. This is, however, the PHNX Rising show. As much as we would like it, I'm afraid we do not have power to control where the Arizona Coyotes choose to play. nor is it our usual topic of conversation. So let's move on and talk, as you said, about the rest of USL Championship. Tonight, Phoenix Rising sitting in 7th. They are 1 point behind 6th place Colorado Springs and have a game in hand on the Switchbacks. El Paso Locomotive, same points as Rising. Rising owns the tiebreaker over them by virtue of that game they played a couple of weeks ago when Rising won 5-0. New Mexico, though, catching right up. They are 3 points behind both of the sides, all three of those sides, by the way, on 25 games played. Monterey Bay on 31 points, RGV on 31 points. So both of those 4 points behind.
Sure.
They have both played a game more, though, than Phoenix Rising, El Paso, and New Mexico. So a little bit tougher for those sides. And then you have Vegas, of course, on 14 points over 25. So they are well out of it. They are 21 points behind the playoff line with less than 10 games to play. You'd have to imagine it is lights out for them, much like we got the lights out grill just down there.
Yeah,
there is the lights out.
We kind of are looking around.
But let's have a look at the scores, though, specifically that have led us to that positioning. And how I look as we see El Paso getting back with a win. They haven't had one in quite some time. They traveled away to Hartford Athletic. They pick up the 2-0 victory there. Lou City, they left it late, 90+8. They win 2-1 over Oakland Roots with a 98-minute winner.
Yep.
You look at some of the other games around there. At San Diego Loyal off of a goal from Ronaldo Damas, a brace from Tumi Mushabane, and it's 3-2 for them away to RGV. That one probably doing Rising a favor in some ways. Sure. San Diego, yeah, I know they're not too far away from Rising, but RGV right behind them, kind of starting to catch up. You don't want to see that happening. San Antonio drop a point and dropped down to 1 point from that game against Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Pittsburgh taking 4 shots all game in a 0-0 draw at Toyota Field. New Mexico United, they do get a win tonight. They were 2-0 up at halftime. Marcus Epps doing his best to get Tulsa back into that game with a goal in the 78th minute. But it's too little, too late. 2-1 to New Mexico on the night. Monterey Bay with a 2-1 win.
Yes. So this is good for multiple reasons. Number one, Monterey Bay beating Colorado Springs Switchbacks. You love to see Colorado Springs dropping points at this.
Two penalties, by the way. 89
Yes. I'm getting only 1 point. Colorado Springs only 1 point above Rising the table, but that does not encapsulate the craziness of this match. 4 yellow cards for Switchbacks in the first half. That then becomes 2 double yellows by the 64th minute. They're down to 9 men. But wait, it gets better. They then open the scoring. 10 minutes later, they're up 1-0 with 2 men down. They are holding on for dear life, but then Monterey Bay, they crack the floodgates in the last 5 minutes. And then, of course, Switchbacks, they go down to a third player. They're now playing with 8 men to start the game out.
James Moose is the last player. He is sent off with a straight red card. But the other 2 that were second yellows, actually 2 forwards, that's going to give them some troubles in their next match coming up. It is Malik Foster and Jonas Fjellberg. Difficult to have that kind of a situation you're in. I mean, that's just a disaster for them. Really, though, the story in the West, Orange County are a train that keeps on rolling right now. They won 2-0 away to Sacramento Republic. Thomas Amang with the goal in the second half, and Seth Kasipli with the confirmation 84th
former Reno 86 AFC legend.
5 shots is all it took for Orange County. They scored 2 goals off of that. Sacramento Republic falling 2-0. Sac actually took 19 shots.
That's a FIFA game
tonight. 19, score none. Orange County take 5 and score 2.
That'll happen. Seth Kasipli.
Of course, there is a game tomorrow, of course, to remember as well. Birmingham Legion playing Detroit City FC. That game at 2 o'clock.
That's a lot.
So, I feel like we've just ran through a lot of that. I will say we should probably give a little plug to a few different things here. We've got a big game coming up, of course, on Wednesday this coming week.
I hear it's Dollar Beer Night.
Dollar Beer Night, indeed. I hear there will be some content coming up shortly on a pregame show.
Very excited for that.
Very excited. We're going to have some good stuff for you from a very, very excitable kind of trip that we had here.
We got a lot of good content. Still more to come.
Some fun stuff on the bus. We'll have to see what we can share with you from that one and see how we can put it out there.
What producer Jacob and others will or will not allow us to do without yelling at us.
We'll see what the censorship is from the production.
We'll sneak some stuff in there.
They won't know. Of the production.
They won't know. Yeah.
But, no.
Benedict Jacob.
It was a good time. A lot of interesting insights. Max managed to interview a llama. He also managed to interview Cash, the soccer rocker. Vegas is mascot who indicated
similar
his
IQ.
support for a certain Andrew Carlton.
No offense. Some offense.
And yeah, we had a good time. Of course, our show, because of the weird week, probably going to be a little bit earlier. It's going to be Monday, right?
It is Monday.
Monday.
Monday. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Usual.
And, usual time, surely, isn't it?
Usual time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do want to shout out before we go. I want to shout out our friends at OGs. Calming down after
Max is
match like
chill
this
tonight. He's
Oh yeah,
chill.
we're gonna take a nice chill. Maybe bus ride back tomorrow. Could use that. Definitely. I'm not drinking tonight, of course. Definitely not
Sleep
gonna be
edition
hungover.
kind of stuff.
Oh baby,
Get that
no
rest.
man, absolutely. OGs gonna be there for us. Can be there for you as well, and not just in the let's get a bag of OGs, which I think is amazing. But how would you like to save money on that bag of OGs? Just got a lot sweeter listening to this show. Through August 31st, which is this Thursday, if my memory serves me correctly, you can save 25% off of a bag of OGs. Again, 25% off a bag of the fruits or the creams at the Flower Shop dispensary. Again, all you have to do, go to the flowershopusa.com, add a bag of those fruits or creams to your cart, enter code PHNX, and then order it, and then go pick it up in person. They have multiple locations throughout the valley. Again, code PHNX at theflowershopusa.com to save 25% off of our friends at OGs. And also, of course, want to shout out, must be 21 years older to enjoy responsibly. As you know, no one underage can get OGs, buddy. But hey, shout out our friends.
Disclaimer,
Yeah, nice. Yeah, of course. Got to do it legally. Also, shout out our diehards. A lot of them made the trip here in person, hitting us up on Twitter, doing all those kinds of things. It was a bonkers match again. This guy's trying to be a little bit more level-head about it. Fair play to him. Boring. But everyone who was rowdy, appreciate you guys. Of course, buddy.
Cut him off. Remember, everyone. Remember, when you're ready to say cheers.
No.
If you are out in Fremont tonight, producer Jacob, remind them what they need to remember.
No,
when you're ready to say cheers, don't forget Max is buying beers.
From Cashman Field. Good night.
Wait, no.
Max has purchased beers.
Where do they follow us on
PHNX _ rising, double the fun. And if you catch Max tonight, double the beers.
Wait, no, that's not
it. From Cashman Field.
Wait, no, I'm the sign off.
Las
Vegas.
No, it's a beautiful game. It's even more
beautiful.
beautiful.
No, what are we doing?
If you can catch Max.
No, don't do it. This is my side. Don't do it.
And get him
producer,
to
do
buy
not end
you
this. Do not end the
beer.
show.
Good
That's not how we
night.
do it. No, good night. This is how we end it on my terms. When
Good
I say
night.
when he's trying to end it.
Good night.
No, he can't. I think he's just messing with us.
Jacob, cut this off.
No, dude, he's not gonna do it.
I'm gonna come and do it myself if he doesn't.